Hi there, and welcome to my review for Die Tomorrow. So Die Tomorrow is probably the most obscure film I've reviewed for this channel. It's really not that well known. It came out in 2017 in Thailand, but it's only had like festival releases in 2018 and it's not particularly got much buzz, which I think is very unfair because personally I saw this on a whim. I didn't really know much about it. I was like, I really liked the Thai film that I saw in cinemas last year. I'll give this one a shot, and it blew me away. It's amazing. Like, seriously, it is fantastic, and I don't know why this hasn't received any kind of acclaim or discussion. To me, Die Tomorrow is one of the best films I have seen in the cinema in a long while. It's really amazing. Die Tomorrow nominally is a collection of short stories to do with death, but it really becomes more than that. It's not just a collection of short stories, it becomes this whole cohesive piece. It has these little asides, it has these cutaways, it becomes a film of cutaways edited together. The timelines in this film bob in and out, they weave within each other. And so we just get this collection of 6 stories about death, intermingled with tons of other little things. We see statistics, we see archive footage, we see a little counter in the top corner of how many people have died whilst we watch this film. It has so many little things that are fascinating, and so it all works really well. It's surprising therefore to me that no one else is really talking about this film. Most of the film is shot on a 1:1 aspect ratio, and within this confined space there's always a sense that death is around the corner, because the film is about death obviously, but we get the sense that once the film will open up, once the black spaces at the sides will disappear, that we will have death. And so we see these people living their lives, we see people who are in the aftermath of death or in the preview to death, they're going to die. And it's all done in these fantastic long takes, this swirling camera work, this single shot that just moves around people who are talking, young people mostly, and we get this really, really fascinating look at the days before death. And the way that the day before death is like every other, it's just a day. It's a day of living, it's a day of being alive. And death is retroactive. You die and then the days before it become the days before death, but they weren't when you lived them. Death is just a timestamp. You died at this time. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a number that will be forgotten about, that will be in stone, that will weather away. It will be on a clock that will tick and move on. The whole film is just about the way that death is just normal and is just something that we have to deal with. We have to reconcile the fact that death is normal, but also try to make it special, try to make it something that's a big deal, because that's the way we cope with it. That's the way that we deal with the sadness of death. And so Die Tomorrow really touches on that sadness and the way that death is a collective experience. It is something that we all have to witness. And beyond that, the film deals with the aftermath of death. It deals with the mundanity of death. It deals with the ubiquity of how life will just go on straight after death. Death is just everywhere. Death is ubiquitous. Death will forever be in our minds. And so, does it really matter? There's a suicide in the film and it's sad, but there's something about it. It feels like just one accident that befell an innocent person, someone who obviously had something that made them do what they did. And this is like everyone else who's just unlucky. You know, some people will live to be 100, as we see in the film, and some people will live to die young, and that's just how it is, and we have to deal with that somehow. And through this little profound experience of this short film that's made without any pretension, it's just kind of as it is. It's slow, it's ironically quite energetic and alive at points, and it has this constant sense of this is how it is, and we're just showing you. It's a film which captures the final moments of life really well. It captures the finite reality we live in. It captures people crying by themselves. It captures people living on luck. It captures the celebrations before something that we don't know. The film is just about the inevitable, and it's touching and it's sad, and it's also weirdly life-affirming, because it kind of shows to us that after death the sun will still rise. If you know someone who dies, the sun will still rise tomorrow. It isn't all over. And I think through this weird look at what death is, Die Tomorrow transcends being the film that it starts off as being. It transcends being a short collection of short films. It becomes a collective whole about mankind and about how we deal with the most important thing that we all have to face, the inevitable end of everything. And so I just loved it. I thought it was amazing. It blew me away quite a bit, and I don't know what else to say. Die Tomorrow is just a masterpiece. Simple. It's just really, really good. And I know very few people have seen this, but if you have seen it, please leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what people think of this film, because I couldn't like it more. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you'd like this review, please give it a like. If you want to hear more of my reviews, you can subscribe. If you want to read more of my reviews, you can follow me on Letterboxd or Twitter. Links in the description. And Die Tomorrow is just a masterpiece.